Hi Cancer, welcome to your April reading. I am going to go ahead and get started with your general energy for the month of April. I went ahead and pulled a card from the Rumi Oracle deck for you. It is a new deck that I was gifted recently, and since I haven't really gotten the time to get to know all of the cards very well, I just went ahead and pulled a card before I put on the camera, and I just wanted to meditate on the card and get to know the card a little bit more so that I can speak to you about it. It's a very beautiful, profound deck. So even before I pulled the card, when I was meditating on your energy, I don't know if you can see that there is an arrow up on my wall there, and for some reason that arrow became something that I focused on for a split second, and I immediately, the thought that came through was, where are you going? Where are you going? And not only where are you going, but what has influenced your path? So I went ahead and pulled the card, and the card that you got was card 32. It is, she offers the sacred wine, so drink. Okay, it's a beautiful card. If you could see, it's a woman who is sort of in this seductive pose and is very beguiling. She wants you to offer whatever she is giving you. I'm sorry, she wants you to take whatever she's offering. And so this card speaks to you feeling alive, you opting to be impulsive in a sense, to let your hair down and to not overthink situations, but instead allow yourself to be free, to be wild in a sense, even to be alive. So, you know, thinking about the message that came through about where are you going, I think that it's really speaking to whatever you're doing, whatever you have, whatever path you've imagined for yourself, whatever you're really fully invested in right now. Does that make you feel alive? Or is it something that you are pursuing just because, like, your way of life, you know, is the way you live your life based on what truly makes you feel alive, or is it based on what others have sort of carved out for you, right? A lot of times we tend to be impacted deeply by certain events in our lives, or, you know, how we were raised. A lot of times those things have been traumatic. A lot of us have experienced trauma, and we learned to live our lives and perceive the world around us based on those experiences, right? So what I mean by that is we're stuck in sort of a survival mode. When we've gone through very, very difficult situations, we tend to obviously keep ourselves safe from ever falling into those situations again. And I understand a lot of us end up repeating patterns. But just for a second, let's focus on how when we learn to protect ourselves and to survive, are we really pursuing things? Are we really creating a life for us based on love and what we truly care about and are passionate about and what makes us feel good? Or is our life basically a huge reaction to the difficult situations we've experienced? And don't get me wrong, there's so much good that can come from that, from, you know, you really learning from those situations and really understanding yourself, understanding other people more. But But I think what I'm really getting to is I think for the month of April, it's going to be important for you to seek what really moves you, okay? And to really meditate on the path that your life is taking, how you live your life, you know, where you're headed. So that's the general energy. So let's move on to your love reading for the month of April. I keep thinking about the word move. So whether it's a physical move, you know, maybe it's important for you to change your environment. You could be experiencing a physical move when it comes to your home. But I'm just getting more of like ease up, you know, release the tension in your body as much as you can, or at least seek to identify where the tension is in your body, seek to relieve that tension. And I'm, you know, a huge advocate for dancing. You know, I love to dance, and I feel like dancing is so helpful, you know, to help you release things in so many ways. You know, kind of, I think dancing can make you feel so free. And then we have the Fool that pops out. Yeah, you know, you're definitely being advised to be careless for a second. And I think in those moments is what you find what really moves you, what really makes you feel alive. You know, when you kind of allow yourself to not overthink things, to not get caught up in the day-to-day, and being responsible. And being responsible is totally fine. I'm not going to say, you know, be reckless. I'm saying understand that there's a needed balance when it comes to life in general. You know, you don't want to live your life doing too much of one thing. You know, you don't want to live your life focusing on like I said, the day-to-day responsibilities so much that you end up becoming this very tense and stressed out person. So you have the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like there's a sort of there's been, like I said, those hardships. There's been sort of, I think, like a difficult situation that you've been in that has required a lot of your energy, right? And so you've been putting a lot of your energy, all of your energy towards that. And what you really need to do is, like I said, try to balance that out with, you know, you trying to release the tension from that. So you know, whatever makes you feel free, do more of that. And if you don't know, you know, take that energy of the Fool and find out. You know, don't be afraid to look ridiculous, be ridiculous for a second, you know. Take that risk. Okay, we have the Four of Cups. That popped out. So yeah, I feel like there's a lack of openness. We have the Tower in reverse, and I think it's mostly because you're too afraid to give up control. You're too afraid that if you do, you know, if you slip for 1 second, you know, a huge disaster, you know, is going to happen as a consequence. We have the Strength reverse, the Emperor reverse, and the Chariot in reverse. You're extremely afraid to lose control. You're extremely afraid to do that, but I mean, that's going to be your challenge in April. We have the Ten of Swords. So really struggling with, like I said, some situations that I think really molded you and shaped you, and maybe you don't even realize that they have. The Emperor in reverse again. Yeah, could be that you were dealing with somebody that was very controlling, that was not supportive of positivity in your life. So they weren't supportive of your happiness. They weren't supportive of you going after what you really love and what you're passionate about. And that's really shaped how you live your life today and what you go after today. Could have instilled some fear in you to open up, right? We have the Magician that popped out, as well as the Knight of Swords in reverse. So definitely gave you, I think, a lot of hardship. But you have the opportunity to channel that energy. You know, all of the kind of chaos that came from that, all of the hardship, all of the turmoil, all of the conflict, all of that, you have the power to channel that energy, especially you know, when it comes to mental energy and emotional energy. If you were feeling a lot of emotions and you were just kind of very anxious and very stuck in your mind about whatever it is that happened to you with this particular person, I think that that's energy, you know, that all of those emotions that you're feeling, you constantly thinking, right? Your mind just going a million miles per hour. All of that is energy. So you have the power to take that energy that you're spending on thinking about that situation and overthinking about that person, overanalyzing things. That energy that you have overspent in feeling down, feeling deep in your feelings, and I'm not saying don't feel, don't think. You should, but understand that there's a balance that you need to maintain. So if you've been overspending that energy in when it comes to your emotions and mentally, that energy needs to be taken and channeled in a different way. Okay, that's the Magician for you. You can create great, beautiful things. You can create the life that you want for yourself truly, by shifting where that energy goes. Okay, then we have the Ten of Wands that popped out. So I see that there's an ending to a cycle for sure. You know, you really have to let go, Cancer. That's what I'm really feeling. And I'm not saying let go of a person or a situation, because, you know, no matter what, we kind of always carry that with us. But let go in terms of the how can I say it, like the stiffness, right? Allow yourself to be happy, okay? And you have no idea how much that I hope some of you do, how much that can be life-changing for you to allow yourself to be happy. Like, I mean, you could literally tell yourself, like, it's okay for me to be happy. I want to be happy. I am happy. You know, affirmations work wonders. Alright, so let's get to this love reading. There's a lot of information coming through for you. Lots of messages. So your main energy is the Hanged Man. Supporting energy is the Empress. The Queen of Wands. And we have the Three of Cups. Whoa. and we have the Nine of Wands. So there's major hesitation on your end when it comes to a connection with someone. Major hesitation. It's like you keep waiting and waiting and waiting to see how things will play out. You keep waiting and waiting and waiting to see, you know, for the exact perfect time to act on something. But the thing about that is, that's very much rooted in fear, okay? And this month you're being asked to chill the fuck out. And what I mean by that is, you know, we carry so much baggage, and we carry so much, like I said earlier with the arrow, like, you know, we're so deeply influenced by our past experiences that we ultimately just let fear take the wheel. We learn to allow for that, right? But the Hanged Man here is really communicating that to me, that you're just you're not acting on, you know, like I said, what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel good, what you're passionate about. There's a hesitation, and I also know that because we have the Nine of Wands here. You are kind of these two cards are similar in the sense that you're just waiting. You know, you're waiting for the right time. You're very hesitant. You don't really want to act and then mess up, or for things to go wrong. But you know what? Sometimes things have to go wrong. But that's not going to happen here for you. Not in April. Let me tell you. The Empress is here. So whatever it is that you want to go after, whatever connection you seek, whatever person may be in your environment that you are wanting to unite with, you know, I can already tell this person is very beautiful. This person is very sensual, very well off. This person is also assertive, a great leader, but also very confident. And I'll tell you right now, this person is wanting that connection with you as well, with the Three of Cups here. And not only do they want that connection, but they I feel like they're excited about it, and they're very much willing to connect with you. We have earth signs coming through, as well as fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or we have the Empress, which can be Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. So one of those, if you know, you may be dealing with one of those people, but I see a very passionate, very sensual sort of connection, the potential here for that. I feel that there's also going to be lots of fun had with the Three of Cups. So I see stability, I see passion, and I see emotion, you know. So that's a great combination. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Two of Wands in reverse, you know. So this is actually one of my favorite illustrations in this deck. If you can see, it's somebody that has a cage over their head, and they're looking at the bird, which, you know, the bird is outside of the cage, and it's the person who's inside of the cage, and they're kind of looking at the bird with this sort of yearning, like they want to be that bird, right? They want to be free. This is you, Cancer, okay? And we have it in the reverse, so there's definitely a need for you to set yourself free. And then we have the Four of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful connection. Beautiful connection here. And then we have the Knight of Wands, but in reverse. So you're afraid to pursue something. You're afraid to be that person to act. Or it could be vice versa. Whoever it is you're involved with can be, afraid to act. But we have the King of Wands here, and we have the Queen of Wands here. So the connection is, there's definitely a potential for a strong connection here. If you're already involved with someone, if you're currently in a relationship, and this is a general reading, so it doesn't, if you're having issues in your relationship, I don't think this reading is for you. This is for people, I think, who are just starting something out, people who are looking for an affirmation, sort of confirmation on whether they should get out and start dating, start seeing people. Yes, if you are just starting to see someone, really go for it. Don't be afraid to act, to let this person know how you feel, to really connect with this person on a deeper level, because there's huge abundance here, and it's almost like I keep thinking like this union, this relationship, this connection is blessed. So I think it really can't get any better than that. But if you've been the hanged man, if you've been that person that's kind of been laying back and like doesn't really want to be open about their feelings, doesn't really want to give in, doesn't really want to, you know what I mean? You've been afraid. You got to let that go. You got to let that go. So that's your love reading. Let's move into your career and money reading. It's interesting too that the Empress came out because it's springtime, and at least here in the US it is. And I think it's also telling of it's Aries season as well, so like a new beginning, but it's very abundant, it's very positive. Allow yourself to indulge a little bit, Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so this is your love and career reading. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here. It popped out, so could be that after a period of some minor instability, there's like a huge payout coming through for you, success. All right. Major energy is the Five of Wands in reverse. We have the Moon. We have the Six of Cups. And we have the Fool in reverse. Okay. I feel like your entire reading is really about how you opening yourself up and allowing yourself to really find out what drives you, what you're passionate about, what makes you feel good as a person, what fulfills you, what makes you feel alive. That is going to shift your perspective in such a way that it's going to impact your entire life, okay? The Five of Wands in reverse here, so I think you're at a point where you've experienced lots of conflict when it comes to money, when it comes to problematic relationships with money, with spending. If you're an overgiver, and that's left you lacking a lot of times, that's caused a lot of conflict, that's caused a lot of issues for you financially. We have the Moon here as well as the Fool in reverse. So I think you're being cautioned to not really move forward with any sort of new financial endeavors without you first understanding, getting a deeper understanding of the habits or the behavior that is problematic when it comes to your finances. Okay, we have the Six of Cups in reverse here. There's something that hasn't been overcome that needs to be overcome, and it's attached to your emotions. So for a lot of us, we need to change our relationship with money, how we see money. Is it fear-based? When we think about money, do we stress out? Do we, think about it? When you think about money, when you think about spending money, do you feel like a little like hesitant? Do you feel fearful a little bit of like spending that money? Do you feel that you're constantly thinking about you don't want to be broke, you don't want to be without, you don't want all of that creates tension, and it creates a resistance, and ultimately it creates a blockage to abundance coming through into your life. So I know that for a career or a money reading, it sounds a little bit random to say you need to get your emotions right? But I really feel that with the Six of Cups here and the Moon, there's something that you're missing. There's something that maybe you've been, there's an emotional attachment that's really, I think that that's holding you back, right? That's not allowing you to move forward. For some of you, and like I said, for others of you, it could be that right now is not the time for you to move forward with anything new when it comes to money, finances, with career wise. There's a deeper understanding that needs to be reached before you kind of take that leap, right, with the Fool. But for others of you, I think that there's sort of there's an emotional attachment, and I think, or maybe there is a fear, and it's based in something not working out in the past. Maybe a business partnership not working out in the past. You being too hung up on, your last job, the jobs you've had in the past and how they haven't worked out for you. The High Priestess is here with the Moon. There's some deep intuitive work that you need to do. There's some deep there's a major need for you to connect with your intuition, because I think that in the past, when it came to you taking a new job, when it came to like spending money, when it came to making big purchases or investments, I think that you didn't make the best calls in the past. And that's because you weren't connected to your intuition. Okay, you weren't connecting to your gut feeling. You weren't trusting that. So in order for you to really move past that and reach your goals financially, career-wise, you really need to connect with that. Okay, so let me pull an advice card for you. For the month of April, Cancer.